the family that this involves. This was an 11-year-old victim. We want to reiterate the bravery that this young lady had and the fact that she did the right thing. She yelled, she screamed, she told adults, and it's because of that and the quick work of our police officers that we were able to get this individual in custody as quickly as we did. So we really want to reiterate that this young lady really did the right thing, and our officers had this man in custody within a few hours. I am going to introduce to you Officer Moroni Mendez. That's Moroni Mendez, Mendez. He's our new public information officer, and he will have further details.
Good morning, everyone. On Friday, January 26th of this year, our officers responded to Sunset Elementary School at around 8:52 a.m. They responded here because school staff had reported that one of their students... I'm sorry? Okay. One of their students was reporting an attempted kidnapping. Our police officers arrived and spoke to the student, which was an 11-year-old female victim, and she told them what had happened. Victim told our officers that she left her apartment home at about 7:54 a.m. to go to school. She lives on a second story, therefore she needs to walk down a staircase. When she was exiting her home, she noticed at the bottom of the staircase was a male she described as suspicious, and she said she felt uncomfortable. She walked around him and past him, and then immediately began running southbound through her apartment complex. From there, she walked towards West Onyx Avenue, and then began walking westbound towards her school. As she was walking westbound, she saw a vehicle in the area and then saw the vehicle approach her. The vehicle stopped in front of her, and when she looked inside, she saw the same male that she had seen near her apartment staircase. This male was described as wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and blue sweatpants. The victim told police that this male immediately jumped out of the driver's vehicle or driver's door and began running towards her with his arms extended. This caused her to run away as she was screaming and yelling for help. This male ran after her for a short distance. After then, he returned to his vehicle and left the area. Our patrol officers began conducting follow-up investigation. They canvassed the area near where this occurred in search of security video. They were able to find a home which had captured the incident as described by the female victim. They viewed the video, and exactly what she had said is what had happened. In the video, they were able to see the vehicle was a silver four-door sedan, and the male suspect was wearing a black hooded sweatshirt and blue sweatpants. While searching for the video, while looking for this video, they observed a vehicle in the area just outside the home, matching the same description as seen in the video. Our officers approached this vehicle and observed a male matching that same description as seen in the video. They identified this subject as 37-year-old Joseph Leroy Ruiz. Violent crimes detectives responded, and Joseph was arrested and transported to Glendale City Jail for booking and processing. Joseph was charged with 1 count of attempted kidnapping and 1 count of custodial interference. I will now open it up for questions. Yes.
When did you guys arrest him? Sorry, the timeline was unclear. So it happened on Friday morning. Did you guys arrest him that same day then too?
Yes.
Okay. Did he live in that area or in that apartment complex?
Our investigation has determined that he lives in the area. Yes.
Was there anything in your investigation that suggested that he targeted this girl?
As of this time, that's unknown. We know that they are unrelated. They don't know each other, so the victim was a complete stranger to him.
We also, talked to some people in the area who were alarmed about this. What is your message for the community now that this person is behind bars?
Well, first and foremost, just like my companion Jose Santiago said, we just want to extend our praise and respect for the female victim for coming forward with this information, speaking about what had happened. As a father myself, as a parent, it's very frightening. It's very frightening that just On her normal walk to school, she was targeted. Someone tried to take her away from her loving family. So we just want to say to the parents of the valley, watch out for your children. Teach them about this incident. Use it as an example as how they should talk and be open and tell those trusted adults about these things that happen.
Does the suspect have any prior criminal history?
He does. Based on our research, we determined that he has, back in 2013, he was charged with attempted first-degree murder and aggravated assault.
Can you talk about how her observations would help you guys find this, knowing the car, what he was wearing, how that helped you guys?
Absolutely, yeah. She, despite being a traumatic event, I'm sure she was flustered and all sorts of emotions were going through her at that time. However, she was able to, tell us a brief description about how he looked. He had facial hair, was wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, was wearing those blue sweatpants. There was a vehicle in the area, and that same information is what we confirmed later on when we found that video. Same exact thing she described is exactly what our officers saw in that video.
How far was her home or her apartment to the school as she was walking? Because I know it was reported about 1 hour after she walked out of her apartment home. So what was the distance from her home to the school?
I'm not exactly sure on the distance. I know she lives in the area of 4300 Onyx, and then the school is over on near 4300 Mountain View. So about less than half a mile.
How common is it to make an arrest this quickly after something like this happens?
It just depends on how much information we gather and how much information we have at the time. Luckily for us, for this incident, we received an excellent report she made. Our officers were diligent and worked in the area to find that video. Not only that, but they have an excellent relationship with our detectives. They responded quickly as well and assumed the investigation. So it just depends on the information we have as well as evidence. I want to take this opportunity to, thank the community member that provided this video. It was on their security cameras that we were able to see this incident take place. So thanks to them, thanks to the victim involved, and thanks to our officers and detectives.
Throughout your investigation and canvassing the area, talking to neighbors, did you ever determine that the suspect attempted to do this prior, or did this appear to be the first time?
Based on this investigation and the information we've gathered, it appears that this was the first time.
Can you get your name again? Sorry. Can you get your name?
Moroni, Moroni, Mendez, Mendez. As soon as we are wrapped up here, we will be emailing out 2 video clips to your stations. One of them shows this incident, and another clip, actually, there's audio where you hear her yelling and fleeing from the area. We are also going to include the Form 4 as well as the suspect's photo. So we do want to thank you guys for this coverage. It's important to get this messaging out there as much as possible, because the more parents hear about this, the better they can equip themselves to teach their child on how to respond in a situation like this. As I mentioned earlier, for our Spanish language stations, Officer Mendez is willing to do one-on-one interviews, so you can have those as well. And I thank you guys again for coming.